Get the Facts with Folan, episode 35. Guys, I'm excited for today's episode. Today, we are headed back to South America.
By Black Magic Design.
Right next door to our episode yesterday in Argentina. We're going to Chile. Chi, lay. Let's see, he is in. Let's get this started. Fingers crossed, connection works.
Viva Chile!
Yeah, there we go. Perfect.
There we go.
How's it going, man?
Going well. How are you?
Good. Another day in the life of being quarantined, a lockdown, a shutdown in Singapore. But life's fine. We still have food. We still got a roof over our head. Good family time. It's no complaints. We're very fortunate.
Just like me. Yes, sir.
Exactly. So introduce yourself, your name, where you are, and how we met.
Okay, so my name is Leonardo Van Beek. I was born in Bolivia. I've lived in Chile most of my life, but I'm actually Dutch. That's my nationality. My father is Dutch. We met through our good friend Josh.
Exactly. Josh Forrest.
Go Frogs.
Go Frogs, baby.
And then when Brent came down to Chile, Josh told me, you gotta meet Brent, and that's how we reconnected.
Exactly, yeah. And then we just missed each other in Bolivia. It was unfortunate. But one of these, I'll be back. Bolivia is insane. Chile is so amazing. You've got three amazing countries. Where you've lived, where you're from. It's those are three very fun places to visit. So with that, let's dive in. What's COVID-19 doing in Chile? What's life like there now?
It's spreading so fast, especially because we don't have a national lockdown or anything like that. A lot of people are doing quarantine because they want to, and partially in the places where there's more cases, it's like parts of the cities are in quarantine where there's more cases, but it's spreading really fast. And I think per capita we're one of the biggest. We only have 18 million people in Chile, and I think we passed 5. I don't even look anymore because I want to change, but I think we're on top of the 5,000.
Okay. Yeah. No, well, luckily not nearly as bad as the United States. U.S. is just exponentially increasing the numbers daily. It's crazy, man. Absolutely crazy.
I'm just gonna abort.
But we're 18 million people. I mean,
the
States, no, for sure,
So are the borders closed in Chile? Like you can't get across Argentina?
Yes. The borders are closed, but it took like 2 or 3 weeks for the borders to, everybody has been very reactive more than proactive. And in Bolivia, I'm seeing the opposite. Bolivia is giving a crucial example, because Bolivia doesn't have the. I mean, if the first world countries are suffering like this, Bolivia, they must have like 4 breeders in per city, tops, mechanical ventilators. But so they were very proactive. They had one case, they shut the country and everything. It's a lot more hardcore than here.
On top of it. Now, very interesting.
Also Argentina, I think, has had that approach.
Yeah. And so
good here.
Go ahead.
Good here about Chile is that we have this so far, because this is in progress. We have the least death rate. We have like a 0.5 death rate. I don't think.
Very low.
Yeah, very low. So people at least are getting treated, are getting the treatment that they need, and we're being proactive. Like the medicals have been proactive, the politicians have been reactive. That's if you can sum it up. I think that would be it.
Interesting. Yeah. And so Santiago is not on a lockdown. Like, are people still able to go outside?
I think it was 7 comunas, which is like municipalities. Santiago is made of like 15 to 20 different municipalities. But the mayors of the municipalities have been begging the big government for a lockdown, and they care more about the economy. That's the problem.
Yeah, interesting. Very interesting. Yeah. So what about, like, have people been panic buying in Chile? Like, are the grocery stores still well stocked? Are there what's flying off the shelves?
There's been lots of panic. I think they are I haven't been out myself.
Yeah.
We're doing all of our groceries. We're doing it through e-commerce,
Yep.
and everything is like you get your delivery if you're lucky in a week. If more normally in 2 weeks, so you really need to plan ahead.
Jeez. Yeah. Yeah. 2 weeks. Yeah. That's a heck of a lead time. That's
Yeah,
especially short on food. That's great. But
exactly. So you pretty
can
much
you
have
leave?
to keep buying. You know,
Can you leave? Like, are you still allowed to leave the house and go to the grocery store
with a permit. Yeah, you have to
with the?
go.
Okay.
There's an online portal where you can get a permit.
Interesting. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's been really like reactive. So although now, yeah, we have severe measures, but it took weeks and weeks for these measures to get
Yeah.
accounted.
That's
Yeah.
fascinating, man. Crazy times. Well, let's talk to fun stuff. Let's talk about travel in Chile because it's again another amazing country. There is surprise. It's a very long country. I remember growing
Yeah.
up looking at the map. It is an incredibly long country, and let's dive into it. So, in your opinion, what are the top three must-see spots when someone visits Chile?
I'm biased because I love Patagonia. You know.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, everything. Chile is just a great country. It's super, like from north to south, everything is different. There's deserts, there's icebergs, but Patagonia for me is like the most beautiful place in the world. The
Yeah.
most beautiful drive in the world is the Carretera Austral,
Uh huh.
the southern highway. It's beautiful, and it's also very big. A lot of people that go to Patagonia kind of just go to Torres del Paine or somewhere else, and then they go back, and that's it.
Yeah.
But it's long, you know, so you're gonna go to Pueblo. I don't even. I haven't even been to all of it, but
Yeah, it's
that's
it's
definitely.
amazing, massive. I mean, it truly is massive. That
Mhm.
would be an epic spot for a road trip. I mean, incredibly remote. The Torres del Paine. So I did Torres del Paine. I guess it's almost 3 years ago. That's crazy. I just like 3 years ago to the day, and
Yeah, I
what an
remember. Yeah.
amazing hike, guys. We talked about the Argentina side of Patagonia yesterday, El Chatan. Torres del Paine. You can do a 5 day trek. You can make it up to 15, 20 days. There's a lot. I mean, it truly is hands down the best hiking in the world, and
Definitely.
just stunning views.
I
The
haven't been
great
that south though. I haven't
oh
been that far. I still haven't been to Torre del Paine, but I've gone all the way down to Puerto Tranquilo,
uh-huh
which is the where the Lake General Carrera is.
okay
Beautiful, man. It's
yeah
great
it's
glaciers,
it's
great
it's like a
lakes.
different part. Like you feel like you're on a different planet when you get down there. I mean, it's just it's
Definitely,
so
you
different.
can drink that water from the boat because it's so
It's
fresh. You
no
can
joke. That's
grab
the
your cup.
best water in the world. Best water
Yeah,
in the world. I mean,
definitely.
straight from the street. You can get down on your hands and knees and drink straight from the water. I mean, and it's ice cold, right? To snow melt. Oh, it's so nice. Like
It's beautiful. Yeah.
it's truly heaven on earth. I love that part of the world. So that's all right. Patagonia is number one. What's number two on your list?
Number two, the coast is really nice as well. Very similar to California. When I did
Mhm.
the PCH, I was like, this is just like Chile, you know.
Yeah,
And the environment, you know, the Pacific Ocean,
exactly.
and it's not far from Santiago. You know, it's only an hour away, an hour and a half, and then you're in the coast, and then. Also, it's very interesting in Santiago or where I live that you are so close from the mountains and the ocean. You know, you can be in the ocean in 1 hour, and
Yeah,
then in 40 minutes you can be so you can go skiing in the morning and surfing in the afternoon if you do those sports or something
yeah.
like that. You know,
Oh yeah,
something
yeah.
that I remember my friends in Texas didn't believe it because we had to drive like 15 hours to Colorado to ski
Right.
or something like that. You know, so they were
Exactly.
like, yeah,
No, it's great. And so when I was there, so of course, as in Santiago, we went to Valparaiso, and then from there, because that's on the coast, you can get to Vina del Mar. I was
mm-hmm.
amazed at how different the two, like Valparaiso and Vina del Mar were, but the beaches on that
Completely
side were
different.
so nice, and they had the sand dune, like massive sand dunes.
Yeah.
You go sand dune
In
boarding
Concon.
down into the beaches. So it was very nice beaches there. I mean, guys, look on a map. Look how much coastline Chile
Yeah.
has. I mean, it's insane. You can get to spots in the country where you'll have a beach to yourself. So yeah, like great example. Number two. What number three on your list? Let's hear it.
Number three, it has to be that I've been, or can I? Because if I haven't been, I would love to go
No,
to
no,
Easter
no. You don't
Island.
have to. No, 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 no.
You
You don't have
know,
No, not at
Easter
all.
Island, or there's also another island far out, Juan Fernandez. They look amazing. I haven't been yet.
Yeah.
The reason I haven't been is because it's more expensive than going to Miami. You know, it used to
It's
be at least.
so expensive. Yeah.
Yeah, you've
It's
been, yeah.
No, I have not been to
No?
Easter Island. So we were
Wow.
going to go. We waited too long to book because if you book the flights, a few months in advance, you save a couple $100. But man, it's no, it's an expensive place to go to. Very remote. Even when you get to the island, it's not a cheap place to go. But what are they called? Moas, the famous head statues that they found out they have bodies underneath.
Moais.
Moais. There we go.
Moais.
Yeah, it looks like a great spot. One of these days, I will get there. We did an episode on New Zealand, and they were in a Pacific island, and there's a cheap way from one of the Pacific islands to get, I think it was French Polynesia, and then they flew to Easter Island. There's like one flight per week, relatively cheap place to go. So I think that's going to be the way.
You can do it, yeah. You can do a route through Bora Bora. I have another good friend actually that just went. I don't know exactly to what all the destinations, but her Instagram stories looked amazing. She was in Bora Bora, Easter Island, French Polynesia. Really nice route.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna add a fourth because Chile has so many crazy places. So what Patagonia is to the south is what San Pedro de Atacama is to the north. And San Pedro de Atacama is stunning. Right? Have you been? You've been, right?
Of course, yeah, I've been, and I've also done the drive. Bolivia and Chile are both my countries, so
exactly.
I don't have a border there. You know, I just
perfect. What a great spot to cross, guys. San Pedro de Atacama. There's a spot called Valley of the Moon where they actually NASA or there's astronauts that practice missions there just because there's spots that look like the surface of Mars as well. The craziest reds and yellows and greens, and you're at altitude. There's some of the Red Rock tour is very nice. There's salt lakes where you can go swimming and literally can't drown. You're just floating on the water.
Full of lithium.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I mean, it's and the world's, I think it's, what is it? The biggest telescope, one of the best places for astronomy is actually there as well.
It is. So, it's where most of the discoveries are made, and these are international organizations. You know, the European organization and American organization both have their telescopes there. I mean, I remember when I took astronomy in university, they used to always talk about Chile just because of this was discovered in Chile.
Because of the spot. Yeah.
And just looking up in the sky, man, like the stars fall in your face is amazing.
You'll never see more. Like, that is the place to go, guys. So my record for the longest bus ride around the world was 26 hours, and it was to go from Valparaiso all the way up to San Pedro de Atacama. Absolutely worth it. You could fly; it's much quicker. But budget backpacking, when you got the time, why not get your stripes doing the bus ride? But well worth the time. San Pedro de Atacama, like I said, is to the north, what Patagonia is to the south. Very, very different climates from each other. But both are must do. When don't skip either. If you go to Chile, if you go all the way down to that country, do both, and I promise you won't regret.
But if you are in San Pedro de Atacama, I highly recommend crossing to Bolivia because
yes,
it's better. Like, sorry to say that, but
it's okay.
In the sense of it's way cheaper.
Yeah,
and the stars look great in the Saoli Desert or in the way to and it changes so much, like in 20 minutes you go down, I don't know how many meters, but you are in a t-shirt in San Pedro de Atacama and you have to be with 3 jackets in Bolivia, but that road, man, that drive, and there's really no road, sorry, like it's actually a drive through the desert in big trucks, in big RVs. And whenever somebody makes that trip to San Pedro, I highly recommend to just do the entire trip all the way to Uyuni and come back to San Pedro or something. San Pedro
or just continue north, keep going through Bolivia and continue into Peru, up through Ecuador. It's a great spot. So I did the long route. I got basically to the border of Bolivia, cut across, went into Argentina, and then into Uruguay, up through Brazil, and then around to Bolivia. So it wasn't the quickest route, but eventually got right back to that spot. Because Salar de Uyuni, I mean, we'll do an episode on Bolivia as well, but that part of the world, again, just like Patagonia, it's like a different planet. I mean, it's a totally different planet. Your eyes won't believe what you're seeing. I mean, it's truly that. And you look back at your photos, and it's just like, how is this real?
Yeah,
So
and
the
if you go
colors
in
there.
rainy season, it's even
Yeah.
more crazy because
Yes.
the
Yes.
the salt flats become a glass, so it's like
Yeah.
you're in the Matrix. You know, you're like when you take a picture. When you take a picture, it's like you're standing on clouds or something like that.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. I didn't
Yeah.
go in rainy season. It was still amazing, beautiful,
Oh, it's
but
still because I did the dry season as well. Still really nice,
yeah,
but the rainy season,
yeah.
guys, you've probably seen the viral videos of a place that is truly a mirror. I mean, it's stunning. That's
One of the
Florida, worth
una de
seeing.
las maravillas del mundo, one of the marvels of the world. Yeah.
Truly, not truly, truly. All
Hmm.
right, so let's dive into food. What are some of the famous foods from Chile?
Famous foods. We have great seafood, man. You know, just amazing crab meat, salmon.
Yeah,
All kinds of fish. Chilean sea bass, as you can see, also a lot
yeah,
in the
known
states.
around the world. Yes,
Known
absolutely.
around the world, Chilean sea bass.
Oh yeah, beautiful.
Machas a la parmesana. I don't know how to say that in English, but it's like mules with Parmesan cheese.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's great. The seafood is great. And coming back to Patagonia, also, if you're in Patagonia, the roasted lamb in Patagonia is one of my favorites.
Yes.
And it's a tradition of a celebration. You cordero al palo, we call it, and you roast it, and it's just delicious.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Now
And of
there's.
course, our wines are great, and it's also you have to have a good wine to.
There you go. Yeah. Oh man, guys, very good food scene. Each again, all that coastline. You would hope that they're good fishermen. They are. If you haven't had Chilean sea bass, it's oh man, it's some good stuff. The way that fish falls apart in your mouth, it's almost like eating butter. I mean, it's if
Yeah.
it's cooked right, it's some very good stuff. Any weird foods? Anything that would be considered strange to the Western world that Chileans eat?
Abalons.
What is it
We
like?
call. Yeah, people. That's the name in English, but it's actually called locos in here.
Huh?
But the translation would be crazies, but it's not. You can't say that.
Yeah.
So it's abalons, abalons. It's like a thick muscle that mollusco that
Yeah,
attaches to
muscle, right? Yeah.
yeah that attaches to the rocks under like really low in the sea. So divers go and get this.
Those are the ones. It's abalone, right? Abalone. They
Yeah,
have the.
abalone. Yeah,
It's
exactly.
very beautiful shells as well.
Yeah,
So yeah. Interesting. I've
that's
never
also
eaten those.
traditional here.
Yeah. Well, you would hope. I mean, it's seafood. You would hope it's on the list. Yeah. Have you had it? Is it good?
Oh yeah, we have it all the time. It's delicious with mayonnaise and a little bit of lemon.
Nice.
You know.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. I'll have to. I think I missed out on that when I was there. So next time in Chile, absolutely we'll have to dive into that. What? Okay.
Definitely
So
recommend it.
yeah. Let's dive into to stereotypes. What kind of stereotypes are there surrounding Chile, and what's true and what's false in your opinion?
What's true and what's false, my opinion of stereotypes. We do have one of the worst Spanish.
It is.
You know,
It's
our
a
Spanish
yeah.
is like people from other Latin countries have trouble like understanding Chileans.
Yeah.
But I don't know. You caught me with that one. The stereotypes. Yeah.
I think I like your example, and I think people. Okay, if you don't speak Spanish, no worries. Study it because it's a language that's used by so much of the world. But it's very interesting when you go country to country how different it gets. And as he said, in Chile, like I learned Mexico Spanish, which is very different from from Argentina, from Chile. So you always have to retrain your ear to hear the Spanish they're speaking because it is difficult. I mean, yes, it's the same language, but it's
So
kind
much
of like
slang.
yeah, it's crazy. Like there are different words, of course, different
Yeah.
slangs. So it's interesting, different pronunciations. So I mean, I guess it's similar to in the United States how people have different accents and different slang. But yeah, I mean, learn Spanish, practice Spanish because it is a very fun language. It will make your time that much better in South America. But no, depending on what Spanish you learn, it really might differ from the country you're in. So no, I think that's a great example. I don't think there's too many stereotypes surrounding Chile. Well, very passionate country, but that seems to be a theme all throughout South America. Everybody loves their country, which is fun, especially at international football matches, right? I mean, you when you
Oh
meet
yeah, definitely,
a
definitely.
Chilean, I mean, if you want to find out who the Chilean is in the crowd, kind of like we started this episode, you just yell "chi chi chi, lay lay lay," right? And that you
Chile.
exactly you will hear that. I mean, they love their country. They will finish that chant for you. So if you're ever in a massive crowd, just yell out "chi chi chi" because it will get finished, and you'll find out who's from Chile. So,
Sachi! That's good. CHI.
so what's your favorite thing about Chile?
My favorite thing about Chile is the landscapes. Then again, back to landscapes and also great trekkings and great places to explore. And that's one of my favorites.
Heck yeah, yeah, guys. If you are a hiker at all, get to Patagonia. Do not miss out. It'll truly be the best hiking of your life. And like Switzerland, okay, close second, very good hiking there. But you cannot beat Patagonia. Cannot beat it. All right, one more question for you. What's one fact about your country that would surprise people?
That the moon is Chilean.
Okay, let's hear it. What's the story behind this one?
There's a story that a man in the 1950s registered the moon to his name because he wasn't admitted to a club, and it was an exclusive club, and they told him, you're not special, you can't come in. And he thought and thought and thought, and he just went and said, somebody registered the moon. No, nobody registered it. He registered the moon.
No freaking way. Smart man. I hope that got him into the club.
It did get him into the club. He came back to the club and said, hey, I'm the owner of the moon. Of course I'm special,
Oh,
and then there's a mythical story that before the Apollo mission, it's not true, but it's it's out there, the story, that the president of the United States, Richard Nixon, sent him a letter asking for authorization for the astronauts to land in the moon, and he replied, it's a known story, and it's funny.
Yeah. That is too funny, man. I had never heard that before today. That is something I'll be reading up on, because like, what a smart guy. I mean, why not claim it? It is someone could. Could own it.
He was admitted to the club.
Yeah. I've got one fact that would surprise people as well. So Chile is one of the few places where you can get to Antarctica from. So if you're looking to go to Antarctica, there is an Antarctica Airlines that runs from Chile. So if you want to do the easy way to get to Antarctica, you fly there from I think it was Porto Natales or Punta Arenas. I think right? Yeah, Porto Natales.
Yeah, and also one part of the Antarctica is Chilean.
Exactly.
That's why another fun fact: we're the tricontinental country. We are in we have Easter Island, which is Oceania, South America, and Antarctica. So tricontinental country.
No, it's yeah. So there and guys, get to Chile again. As I always say, South America, hands down, the best continent on the planet. Chile is up there with the landscapes. You will never see more stunning landscape. A diversified portfolio of landscapes in one country. But yeah, Antarctica. If you guys are bored at home, which I know many of you are, research the history of Antarctica. There was a massive race with a lot of countries. I think it was about 15 of them, claiming different parts of land. There's some parts that overlay, and so like there is a neutral agreement where people say no one owns it, but still each country has their sliver with their Antarctica bases. But there was a race to have the first family there, to have the first child born, and so it was Chile and Argentina really going quickly together, because those are the two spots that the two countries. It's the quickest place in the world to get from, because if you go from New Zealand, you go from Australia, you go from Tasmania, it's going to take you double the amount of time, usually a week, maybe 10 days to get to Antarctica, versus 2 days from Argentina, or even a couple hours if you fly from Chile. So fascinating. If you want a very interesting history in a very remote part of the world, Google the Antarctica race between all these countries, because it's a wild story. With that, man, thank you so much for taking the time. I appreciate you doing this episode. I want you, please leave a message. What do you want to? What's your message to the world? What would you like to say to the world?
Come to Chile. I agree with you.
Yeah.
You know, once we're past this pandemic, I think I would put it on my calendar. I mean, if I would live here.
yeah, guys. Easy to fly into Santiago, and I mean, I wouldn't recommend the 26-hour bus ride. Buy those flights in advance. Get a cheap deal
They're
on
pretty
them.
cheap.
Yeah,
No,
If you
we
come
have
in
pretty
advance,
low-cost airlines.
Yeah. Oh, we just had a question. Have you ever had Chile at Chili's in Chile?
I don't think we have Chili's. We have a lot of American chains, a lot of them, but I don't think we have Chili's.
Yeah. But guys, with that, thanks for watching this episode. What did I say? It was episode 35. Wow, this is great. What a great use of quarantine. It's fun reconnecting with all these friends from around the world. And making sure everybody's okay. That's at the end of the day, that's what you want to make. That's what matters. Shout out again to Josh Forrest. Josh, if you're watching, man, you're an absolute legend. Hope all is well. I think he's still in Australia. It's fun to just finish up his military.
I was supposed to see him. I mean, I was supposed to be in Texas now.
No way! Yeah.
For one of our friends' weddings, but everything's canceled. So.
Yeah. Hopefully, I'm praying life gets back to normal sooner rather than later, because it's a very weird time in the world. I mean, now more than ever, reach out to those friends from all over. Just check in on everybody, because there are people that are going through this alone, and I can't even imagine. So with that, in 12-ish hours, we're going to be headed back to Europe. We're going to be taking you to Sweden, and then in 24 hours back to South America. We'll do our episode on Bolivia. What a perfect transition from Chile to Bolivia in 24 hours. So looking forward to it, guys. If you're watching, please stay at home. Please stay inside. Wash your hands. And let's get through this together. We will see you next time. Thanks again, man. Stay safe.
Bye-bye. Stay safe.